I never in a million years thought one impulsive choice could completely turn my world on its head, but boy, did it ever. It all kicked off towards the tail end of my junior year in college. My amazing friends had been practically begging me to embrace life a little more, to take a few chances, to stop being so darn cautious all the time. And honestly, they had a point. See, I was the kind of girl who meticulously planned every little thing, who never acted on a whim. That is, until they strolled into the picture. There was Jake, your quintessential rebel. Leather jacket, cool motorcycle, that knowing smirk that could melt ice. He had this incredible knack for making you feel like you were the only person in the room, even if just for a fleeting moment. Then there was Liam, who was the complete opposite. Sweet as pie, a little reserved. The kind of guy who'd hold open doors and remember the tiniest details about you. They were polar opposites, yet somehow, they both snagged my attention at the exact same time. It all started at a friend's birthday bash. I'd had a couple of drinks, just enough to loosen up without turning into a complete mess, and I found myself totally engrossed in a conversation with Jake by the bonfire. He was utterly captivating, spinning these wild tales about epic road trips and crazy parties. His laughter was infectious. But just as I was getting completely drawn into his world, Liam quietly appeared, offering me a steaming mug of hot cocoa instead of another beer. He smiled that slow, genuine smile that made my heart do a little flip. I remember thinking, seriously, what are the odds? Two incredibly different guys, both making me feel something truly special. My friends naturally were all for it. Just have some fun, they urged. You don't have to make any big decisions right now. It felt daring. It felt exhilarating. For once, I wanted to do something totally unlike my usual self. So, I did. I decided I'd spend time with both of them casually, no strings attached, and just see where things went. It was supposed to be just a bit of fun. At first, it was a thrill. Jake would whisk me away on these exhilarating rides through the city late at night, speeding down empty streets with the wind whipping through my hair. He made me feel so alive, in a way I'd never experienced before. Meanwhile, Liam would invite me to these cozy little coffee shops and bookstores where we'd chat for hours about everything under the sun. With Liam, I felt truly seen. With Jake, I felt utterly vibrant. How on earth was I supposed to choose between the two? The longer it went on, the trickier it became. Jake was so unpredictable. Sometimes he'd show up at my dorm window with a gorgeous bouquet of flowers. Other times, he'd disappear for days without a word. Liam, on the other hand, was a constant, a rock. He never pressured me, even when he could totally tell something was going on. One night, after an amazing ride with Jake, he dropped me off with this charmingly crooked smile and a playful wink. I should have been over the moon. But when I got back to my room, there was Liam, waiting for me. He'd brought my favorite soup because he remembered me mentioning earlier in the week that I wasn't feeling great. He just sat with me in comfortable silence, no questions asked. It hit me like a ton of bricks in that moment just how complicated everything had become. I'd naively thought I could handle it. I thought I could protect my heart. But feelings just don't work that way. And somewhere along the line, a heavy weight of guilt started to settle in my stomach. They both deserved so much more than just a fraction of my attention. They deserved someone whose heart wasn't so tangled up in confusion. I knew I couldn't keep leading them both on forever. I had to make a choice, a real one, or walk away from both of them entirely. I decided the only fair thing to do was to be completely honest. I asked them both to meet me at the same park on a sunny Sunday afternoon. My heart was pounding in my chest as I sat on that bench, waiting. Jake strolled up first, radiating that confident energy like he owned the place. Liam arrived a few minutes later, looking every bit as nervous as I felt. When they realized they were both there for the same reason, you could practically cut the tension with a knife. I just laid it all out there. I told them how much I valued them both, how much they each meant to me in completely different ways, but that I just couldn't keep things going like this. I braced myself for anger, for hurt. What I didn't expect was understanding. Jake let out a low chuckle and just shook his head. Figured, he said with a wry smile. You're not the kind of girl who'd settle for anything less than the whole deal. Liam just offered that gentle, knowing smile of his. We both care about you. We want you to be happy, even if that happiness isn't with either of us. I actually teared up right there in front of them. It wasn't sadness, it was pure relief. They weren't furious. They weren't going to hate me. They cared enough to let me go. After that day, everything shifted. Jake and I went our separate ways on good terms. He eventually moved to another city for a fantastic job, and last I heard, he was absolutely killing it. Liam stayed in town. We remained friends, genuine friends. No awkwardness, no unspoken feelings hanging in the air. And as time went by, without any pressure, without any fear of messing things up, our friendship slowly blossomed into something so much deeper. It wasn't all fireworks and crazy adventures. It was quiet mornings, shared silly jokes, those deep, meaningful conversations that make your soul feel understood. It was steady. It was real. Taking that leap of faith with two amazing guys wasn't about finding love in the dramatic way I'd imagined. It was about discovering that true connection isn't always loud and wild. Sometimes it's quiet and incredibly strong. I had to take that crazy chance to truly understand that what I really needed wasn't constant excitement or adrenaline. It was someone who would simply show up, day after day, without expecting me to be anyone other than my authentic self. Looking back now, I wouldn't change a single thing. That unexpected journey led me exactly where I was meant to be. How does that version resonate with you? I tried to inject a bit more vivid language and emotional depth while keeping the core story intact.